These my dollars make it hurt.
What's going on? What's going on? I'm here, and there's a whole lot of folks in here already. Yeah, this is what happens when the Cowboys lose. I ain't even looked in the chat line yet, but I'm guaranteeing that once I look in there, I'm gonna see some faces and names that I ain't seen in a while. And I'm expecting that. What's going on? Man, good Lord. Look at all these folks in here. Hey, while y'all here, I ain't even looked at it. Hello to everybody on Podbean. Welcome to the Big Time Show podcast. Yeah. And welcome to those that are watching by Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And to those that will be listening to this download, once this show is over, it'll be uploaded to iHeartRadio and Pandora and Google Podcasts and all that kind of stuff. Before I start saying hello to everybody, why don't you go ahead and share it if you don't mind. If you don't mind, go ahead and share to a Cowboy fan or a Cowboy hater that I'm quite sure they are in here. And I will be speaking to you. I told you guys, I'm not hard to find. I told you yesterday on the show that I would be late. And for the post-game show, I had to be back at church. Got through with church, and then I had to come back home and watch the second half. I came back and watched the entire second half. And once that was over with, here I am. So we got a few things to talk about, and then we'll go ahead and maybe talk about a little bit more in the week. But as for now, this is just my gut reaction without really looking at a whole lot of film and all that kind of stuff. Just going off what my eyes have seen without really seeing the all 22 tape and all that kind of stuff. All right. So let me speak to everybody. Listen, you guys already know what to do. Really shouldn't have to do this by now because you guys are really blessing the show. If you already know, listen, there it is there. I need all you guys. Yeah, there you go. A lot of y'all already doing it. Help your boy out. After the loss, this is about what the only thing that'll make me feel just a little bit better, knowing that the show is still moving and all that. First of all, I could care less about the Sunday night game. I'm going to say that real quick. I care less. I don't, Cincinnati, Buffalo, who cares? So if you're a Cincinnati Bengal fan and or a Buffalo Bill fan, and you count this as disrespect that I'm doing my show and y'all playing live, so be it. Count it as disrespect. Nobody don't care nothing about this Sunday night game, except those that live in Cincinnati or Buffalo. I live here in Memphis. I don't know one Cincinnati Bengal fan here in Memphis, Tennessee, or a Buffalo Bill fan, so I could care less. It's halftime. I think it's about to start up again. For those that don't know, I think Cincinnati's up 21-7. Let me speak to all. Let me see if my guess is right with all of these people in here so early. Let's see. Eastside Harold. What else? Bronson from yesterday. Here he is. Oh my God, my brother Dylan. I got a few Eagle fans. Bronson again, East Side. Cowboy J. Hey, what's up? Shane. There you go. David Williams. Brandy. What's going on? Key. All the Eagle fans, front and center. I see all y'all. Here y'all come. Key in the building. What's up, Brandy? Dylan. Okay. Let me see. Michael in the building. Michael Evans. What's up? Scott. What's going on? Kid Cowboy. Okay. Let's talk. And for those, why don't you share? A lot of people in here. There's a lot of people in here who hadn't said anything. I know they're lurking and watching. All right. So here's my gut reaction without taking any notes, without looking at the film, without doing none of that. Here's my gut reaction off of it. We lost. That's the bottom line. We lost. That's obvious, but the way it never fails in all these years that I say the Cowboys win spectacularly or they lose spectacularly. Now, that does not necessarily mean that it always have to be a blowout either way, whether we win, by 30 or 20 or we lose by 20 or 30. Sometimes losing spectacularly is the way you lose. And I be dang, tonight, just based off what I seen, we add another chapter of another way that we lose the quote-unquote big games tonight. The game of football is, as long as I played it and as long as I watched it, and down through the years, you've always heard this. The game is a game of inches. Just and I be dang, tonight, that statement was very true based off of what I saw. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this, and there's a lot of people in here. There's a lot of people in here tonight. So I appreciate all y'all. I hope you guys will share. I hope you hit that like button for me before we move. I didn't check out Podbean. Let me see on Podbean. Okay, hello. I can't even pronounce that. I can't even pronounce those 5 names there, so I'm not even going to try. Appreciate all y'all. Thank y'all for coming. All right, so let me go ahead and kill the narrative now. And I haven't read all of your comments. I'm sorry. I saw your names. I see all the comments. I just haven't read. I just don't want to focus in on one of them. Let me go ahead and say this. I was messed up by the way that Mike McCarthy put it out there, and I mean I can't argue with it because they see things that we don't see because they practice with the guys. This is what Coach McCarthy said in his press conference. He said, we cut Dak loose. We cut Dak Prescott loose. And I be dang. He has. I don't personally like it because number one, I don't completely trust Dak. But just because me saying that doesn't mean that really mean nothing. It's really all about what they think in the locker room. And Dak Prescott is hot. He's hot, and he lit it up today. I give him credit. He lit it up. He did. He had a great game today. They put it in his hands, and really didn't have no choice because once again, we're not running the ball well. We're just not. We're just not doing it. So the game really was, and as much as we threw it today, it was in Dak's hands today. And he did well. He played extremely well. And I don't have to go, y'all saw it. I mean, he lost, no doubt about it. He lost. But there's really no buts. He lost. He went 29 for 44, 374 yards and 3 touchdowns. No picks. That's outstanding. They had a great game. But here's the thing. You made a whole lot of plays, but the kind of victory that I'm talking about, you have to make the play. And it just seems to me, and I'm not blaming Dak at all. I'm talking about the Cowboys as a whole. It just seems to me over these last 5 or 6 years, so at least in the Dak Prescott era, that when it's time to make the play, the Cowboys as a whole just can't cross that hurdle. See, I've always said that these are the games. This game against the Eagles, the 49er game, these are the games. Hey, everybody's popping in. Good Lord. Look how many folks live on this thing. I ain't never had this many people live. Well, hey, everybody welcome. Good Lord. Okay, anyway. I messed up because we just can't get over that hurdle to make the play against these, in this type of game. All right. There's a few other factors that I'm gonna point out. We just can't, and it was just inches. This is what kills me. It was inches. The Cowboys really should have had to only kick a field goal. That's the first thing. But Dak, half of his size, whatever shoe he wear, he stepped out of bounds. You see what I'm saying? He stepped out of bounds. I mean, on the 2-point conversion, had it made. I mean, he could have dove in, but he had to stick his left arm out and at the same time get his half of his foot on there, and that explains why we lost by. It could have been. He could have made it easily, but he missed it. Those are the type of plays I'm talking about. The other obvious one, y'all. Good Lord. Schoonmaker makes a pretty good catch. Dak makes a throw. Schoonmaker makes the catch. He falls. He's across the goal line, but the problem was his knee hit first, and he was a whole half a yard away. Initially called a touchdown upon further review. He was an inch away from making, obviously, a score there, which we didn't get. We didn't get any points off of it. So I'm talking about between Dak Prescott, foot on the line, and ain't got nothing to do with the refs. They don't have nothing to do with the, Eagles doing something. It's just, it's just the play that need to be made. It was saying like with us, something always comes up, and it did it again today. Schoonmaker makes the catch. He makes the catch, makes a great little move, dude, all over him. He still makes the catch, falls across the end, the end zone. But you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. We just can't make those plays. That's what's killing us. Now, the Cowboys obviously played enough to win. They played a good enough game to win. And a lot of you guys called the game, whether it was with the Cowboys winning or the Cowboys losing. A lot of you picked a close game, said it would be a close game today. And a lot of y'all said the Cowboys going to blow the Eagles out. I knew that wasn't going to happen. I didn't think it was. But it was a close game. I think that the Cowboys could have very easily won today. But the bottom line is they did not. Now, I told you guys yesterday, if you was with me on yesterday, I told you guys, I said, if you remember, if you were with me yesterday, I said that the person that was going to have a huge game would have been Jake Ferguson. And sure enough, Jake had a great game, his biggest game as a Cowboy, big game. Made a whole bunch of catches. What I did not expect was that CeeDee Lamb would have the game that he had today, which is he had a humongous game, but it was not enough. It just wasn't enough. As far as our defense goes, well, let me stay with the offense. If you were with me yesterday, and for all of you that are here, a lot of you I don't even know. A lot of you are obvious Eagle fans. Congratulations, y'all won. I can't take nothing from you. I'm not gonna take nothing from you. Y'all good football team. But we supposed to took y'all out today. That's the way I look at it. And we'll see y'all in Dallas in a few weeks. So we'll just see. But the Cowboys played well enough to win today. If you were with me yesterday, do y'all remember this? Who was with me yesterday? Y'all, for those that didn't see it, you can go back and look at yesterday. I said this. I said, pride will cause you a loss. Remember I said that? And I specifically said that when Hassan Reddick went against Terrence Steele, I told you he's not right. I told y'all that. I said, what don't need to happen is that he is supposed to go one-on-one with Hassan Reddick or anybody if he gets beat. And if he gets beat, please get him some help. Remember I said that yesterday? I said it yesterday. I said Terrence Steele. If he gets beat today, don't try to have pride saying, hey, we got a good lineman and he's going to make a play. Not when he's consistently getting whipped. I told y'all that. And I be dang. It sounds like your boy know his team, don't it? Because not only was it Hassan Reddick, but it was Brandon Graham as well. They destroyed Terrence Steele. He gave up 4 sacks, and here's the bad part about it. The Cowboys didn't send nobody over there to help him when it's obvious he needed help. And that was a major problem. Those last 2 drives, that last drive, Brandon Graham, who really ain't played the whole time, came in and simply annihilated. He annihilated Terrence Steele. And I'm waiting like I say, okay, Hassan Reddick got him earlier. All right. Now all of a sudden here come a Brandon Graham and he gave up 4 sacks. I don't even blame Terrence Steele, y'all. I don't even blame Terrence Steele, because you can only do what your body allow you to do. My question is, why didn't the Cowboys send a tight end over there? It's obvious he needed help. Instead, you let their defensive ends wreck the ball game. He gave up 4 sacks. All of them were huge. And I'm like, dude, He can't block nobody one-on-one. Not these speedy guys. He can't block Hassan Reddick. He can't do beat up on Brandon Graham. He couldn't do nothing with them two. Get him some help. That's coaching. That's coaching. Look, the man already was gonna get beat. Good Lord, you see him getting beat. Please send somebody over there. It don't make no sense to me. Now, one other thing I said yesterday, and I see the comments here talking about the refs and that kind of stuff. There were a few holding calls on Parsons they didn't miss. Everybody saw that. There was a lot of a few holding calls, but at the same time, there was some on the Cowboys way that they didn't call either. They kind of let them guys play. Now, if you got some obvious stuff, at least what I saw, then we'll the obvious stuff they went in and called. However, while we talking about that, before you say that, because the Eagles did get a whole bunch of holding calls, pass interference calls, but it wasn't because it was not true. There was that. But here's my question. Remember when I said yesterday, I said this, y'all. It sounds like I know my team pretty good. I said it's going to be interesting to see how Dan Quinn plays the Eagle receivers. Y'all remember when I said that? Because I said you really can't go man to man, number one, against AJ. I said, let me get a safety over the top. You cannot let AJ Brown destroy us like he been destroying everybody else. And then I said, if Devontae Smith beats us, so be it. If Dallas Goedert beats us, so be it. You cannot let AJ beat us like he been destroying everybody. And I be dang. He actually started off that in the first half. But in the second half, he got a little bit too confident and pride stepped in because the Cowboys went one-on-one with everybody. And I was like, man, are you crazy? You can't do this. You can't go one-on-one. And the parts that everybody I'm looking in the chat here, the part that you all guys are saying, yes, the calls were made, but it should have been a scheme change at the beginning. You can't go one-on-one with AJ and Devontae Smith. You can't do that. And then if you're going one-on-one, you can't even really just play off of AJ Brown. Whenever Gilmore was there, the parts that I saw, now I'm going to look at it a little bit more once the all-22 tape come in. But you can't play off. You can't play off AJ Brown 7, 8 yards, and then that was it. I mean, come on, man. That's scheme. And it was working in the first half. Why did we change it and really just go man? That's too much confidence. If Diggs was out there, I get it. If Diggs was out there, I get it. But you can't go one-on-one like that. And all Jalen was doing was throwing it up in the air. Jalen had time. All he did was throw it up in there. AJ Brown didn't kill us today. AJ Brown had on 100 yards today. I don't know what the exact number is. Maybe someone of y'all can put it in. I don't feel like looking. There it is. It's already there. Mitra says AJ Brown only had 66 yards. Listen, if you can hold AJ Brown to 66 yards, look, you're supposed to win. Devontae Smith really didn't have a huge game. The thing was, that is on Dan Quinn, man. You can't go one-on-one with these guys. They're too good. AJ and Devontae are too good for you to be just lined up at a single high safety and you going one-on-one with Bland and Gilmore. Of course they gonna get the calls. We should have known that. The ref is gonna give them the calls. I'm not even mad at it. I'm mad that it happens so frequently, but I'm not really mad at it because AJ is gonna get that call. He got that kind of respect. CD has that type of respect. They didn't go one-on-one with they played a different scheme. Every time they went one-on-one against CD, he baked them. And in zones, he found the thing. CD had a huge game. But that scheme, man, that drive in the third quarter, it wasn't because the Eagles were catching the ball. Good God. That one drive, they at least got 35 to 40 yards. Just all pass interference and defensive holds. That's when they scored the touchdown. Jalen was just throwing the ball up in there. It wasn't no, I mean, come on now. I blame Dan Quinn for that. I don't blame the refs. 9 times out of 10, Jalen is going to get that call. I'm not Jalen. I mean, AJ is going to get that call. Devontae Smith is going to get that call. So it really wasn't a surprise to me. Now, if you want to get technical about it, you might want to say, well, are they letting them play? Are they calling hand checking and all that kind of stuff? I think they let them play today. I do. I'm saying I'm not blaming the refs. I'm not blaming AJ. I'm not blaming Devontae. I'm not even blaming Bland. I'm not even blaming Gilmore. I'm blaming scheme. What defensive coordinator goes one-on-one with the Philadelphia Eagles? Come on now. And the sad part, like I said, in the first half, there was a safety over the top. I don't even blame it. I think the refs let them play, and 9 times out of 10, AJ and Devontae are gonna get those calls. Just like I think CeeDee Lamb is gonna get those calls. They earned the right to get those calls. They're good. The refs are usually gonna get. That's what happened today. That is that drive. But here's the bottom line: when it was time to make the plays, whether it was by an inch or whether it was by a step out of bounds, Cowboys just didn't make the play. We just didn't make it. Mike McCarthy. See, it's one thing when you don't have the numbers in the running game. But it's another whole thing when you don't even try to run. See, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody's saying, well, we couldn't get the running game going. Well, mainly because, number one, you keep trying to run it up the middle, as always. And then when you finally ran off tackle, you can start getting some yards. And then when you had Rico run the ball, Rico ran the ball very well. The couple times he got it. A nice push. Pollard had just a couple plays we got loose. But here's the thing. Everything was in the shotgun tonight. Everything was. I told y'all this yesterday. And we almost got away with it. You can't finesse your way against a physical football team. I told y'all this. We almost got away with it. But out of 10 plays, my offensive linemen were backing up on pass protection. I told y'all this yesterday. How are you going to wear out the defensive line and this pass rush that they had? How are you going to wear them out when all your linemen are doing is backing up on pass plays? No, you need to get the guys going forward. Try to wear the guys. You ain't going to wear no defense out when you let them attack you on the offensive line. That's play calling. That ain't got nothing to do with the players. That's play calling. It's play calling. I'm disappointed that he, and when I say he, Coach McCarthy, essentially just turned us into a shotgun play action pass football team today. We didn't run it enough, in my opinion. I mean, I understand Dak was hot. I understand it. I understand Dak was hot. And it seemed like that the game, as much as Dak threw the ball, it seemed like the game plan was for Dak to throw the ball like crazy today. How many passes did he get? Let me look at that again. I mean, he passed the ball like he Patrick Mahomes. 44 pass attempts. I mean, I don't get it. Tony Pollard had 12 attempts. Dak Prescott himself had 6 attempts. So watch this. So between Pollard and Dow, Rico Dow, Avante Turbin had 1 carry. So I'm not even counting him. Dak Prescott and Turbin had 7 carries. And Dak's was scrambles. But between your running backs, Tony Pollard only had 12 carries, and Rico only had 2. 14 carries. And you look, 14 carries between your running back and 44 pass attempts from your quarterback. That's not gonna get it done. I don't know. I don't know what game we looking at. When you have a bully type team, I've been saying it all day. I've been saying it for the last couple of years, but it doesn't look like a Kellen Moore offensive game plan. What world are you from that you are trying to say that your running backs combined only have 14 carries in a game? In a close ball game, too, I may add. I understand we were down 30. and you couldn't do number pass. I get that. But this was a close ball game. Why is Dak Prescott? And he was hot. Why does Dak Prescott have to throw the ball like his name is Patrick Mahomes? See, you want Patrick Mahomes to throw it 44 times because that's the strength of your football team. But I guess in essence what the Cowboys are saying, especially these last 3 games, I guess what they're saying is Dak Prescott is the strength of your offense. And in turn, I guess you could throw CeeDee Lamb in there, but CeeDee is directly tied to Dak Prescott. So I'm under the impression, based off what I'm seeing, is that they have made a decision. Man, forget our running game. We gonna roll with Dak Prescott. And that works. That works against teams that are not, the upper echelon of the NFC or the AFC. See, what Philly did today, and I know I got a bunch of Cowboy fans here, but here we go. And see, y'all don't want me to tell the truth about our team, but I'm going to do it anyway. Here's where we are. I don't care how close we got today. I don't care. I don't care. I lost. The bottom line is you lost. We lost. I don't care. I don't care about an inch like I was saying before. I don't care about, I don't care about, the 2 point. I mean, when Schoonmaker should have had it. I'm not even talking. I could care less. The bottom line is we lost. That's the bottom line. It ain't nothing else. Win or lose. Did you win or did you lose? Nobody don't care. We can dissect it and all that. This is where I'm saying about Philly and Philly and Frisco. Philly and Frisco, all they did with us is proved that they are, and I understand the 49ers have lost, 3 straight games or whatever. That's fine. But see, the 49ers are so good, you're really not even worried about them losing three games in a row. Not really. Especially with Debo not playing and, Trent Williams not playing. You already know about that. But what Philly did today, and then what the 49ers have did, they have said this. We're up here, and you're still down here. You can beat up on the Giants like we're going to do next week. You can beat up on, you can beat up on Washington. You can beat up on, the teams that are tier 2 type teams and lower. Y'all got that. We know y'all the Cowboys. Y'all know we know y'all gonna beat them. Ain't nobody picking the Giants next week. Nobody. We know y'all gonna win. But when y'all come up here and get on this porch that y'all gotta come see us, when I say us, y'all come up here and gotta say, hey, you gotta get on the road and go to San Francisco. Because, when you gotta play Philly, and I think we can beat Philly. I mean, I was wrong when we started off in July when we were full of health. I said we were gonna sweep y'all. I can tell you, I believe we're gonna beat y'all in Dallas. I say that. But right now, we're not. We're gonna have to beat everybody on the road. With 2.5 out of the division, it's gonna be hard to catch Philly. I'm not saying it can't happen. Got a lot of football left. I understand that. But bottom line is you're 2.5 back. You can't fall too much more. So the way I'm looking at it is I believe the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. But we are going to probably be a 5th or 6th seed somewhere in that area. Which means you got to go on the road. And when you go on the road against one of these big teams or whatever, you're gonna have to play a certain way, man. We're not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been calling for it for the last few years. We just are not physical enough to me. We're not. See, play calling implements physicalness. You can't tell me between Rico and Tony Pollard that a combined 14 carries and your quarterback is bagging up for. And I understand again, y'all. I understand that he was hot. I get it. But we passing too much for me. I'm sorry. We passing too much for me. And I know the quarterback is hot as all outdoors. He's hot. He is. Dak is playing. I just don't like it. And then when you don't really call it, how can you say we can't run? Just because Pollard ran it for 2 yards, the next time you try to run the ball, maybe about 2 series away. Everything else, shotgun, little fake play action pass, Dak throwing it all over the place. You got to be able to run. Look, even though it worked, y'all. I saw the game. Even though it worked, 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. Why it always got to be a fake and a pass? It's 3rd and 1. If you miss it on 3rd and 1, you got 4th and 1. Why it always got to be a fake and then a pass? I mean, it's not even a discussion about running the ball at all. Everything it's too much passing for me. It's too much passing for me. That's me now. And y'all might like it. I'm saying it again. Dak Prescott was hot. I get it. But you're not gonna be able to do all this in a few more months. Dak Prescott ain't got no business throwing the ball 44 times when it's time in December and January. No. No, sir. No. 14 times? That's that same as Kellen Moore was doing. That's the same. That's the same. I don't get it. I see you won. I see your comment. No, he won the black not trash. He lit y'all up. He lit y'all up today. He just didn't win. The Cowboys just didn't win. Whoever that is calling me. I ain't opened up the lines. I know you see it on there. Somebody from Florida. But it is what it is. It was more than Dak. We can't put nothing on Dak. All y'all saying Dak overrated. That's because y'all keep listening to Stephen A. and all that kind of stuff. Dak Prescott had an outstanding game today. Outstanding. Y'all sounding like Stephen A. now. That's this Stephen A. rhetoric y'all want to have. Can't blame a quarterback. My quarterback lit y'all up today. He did. He lit you up. The defense and I don't want to plug the game. Like I said, I blame coaching. The Terrence Steele thing, it's just mind-boggling to me. Get the man some help. Hey, Bronson, I see you from Florida, all right? I ain't opened up the lines yet. I know you see it on there. That was you just called me. I'm about to get it there. Bronson, I'm going to make you the first call. So you ain't got to call me. I'm going to call you. You'll be the first one. Once I say the line's open, nobody call in, I'm going to call Bronson first. And I'm quite sure the Eagle fans wants to get at me, so I'm gonna let off. So whoever calls in, I'm letting you know now before we even start. Your conversation's going to have to be short. It's going to have to be very short who calling me because I'm not fit to talk too much longer on that part there. I haven't even opened it up. So I'm going to call Bronson first because he called in, just being fair. And then whoever calls after that, conversation better be short. That's all I'm going to say because I'm quite sure they all coming. All the haters are lining up. And then we'll go with that. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and just start it now. I ain't going to even do that. All right, so Bronson, here I come. Here I come, Bronson. Here I come. I'm assuming this is you. You're in Florida. I'm assuming this is you.
Hello.
Hey, this is Big Time Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, Bronson.
That's you, Bronson. All right. Well,
That's me.
You got the dance floor. We got a Philadelphia Eagle fan on the line. What's going on?
All right. So I just wanted to say that y'all played a good game. You really did. CeeDee Lamb went off. My score prediction was close.
It was.
I said 31-28. A little off, but close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Dak played well. So, I give y'all props. You guys played a hell of a game, but y'all still lost.
Bottom line. It's nothing else to talk about.
And I want to see.
Uh-huh.
I need to see you do that fly, Eagles, fly like you did yesterday. I want to see you spread them arms and do that fly, Eagles, fly.
You know what? I promise you I would do that. I did say I would. So here I go. Fly, Eagles, fly. There it is right there, y'all. I said y'all fly back right here. Y'all flew back and y'all took us out today. So I give you credit. Y'all won a big game today. Big game. Fly, y'all did. I give you credit. I appreciate you, Bronson.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man.
All right, appreciate
Take it easy.
Bye-bye. Boy, I hate doing it. Next thing y'all gonna be trying to do is make me wear a Philadelphia Eagle jersey. Y'all know I ain't doing that. So, big guy. All right, phone lines. Oh, I did see somebody else. Let me get, who's this? All right, got you. Let me get this in.
Call from
Coach Marv.
To accept.
All right, Coach Marv is in the building. Coach Marv.
Big show.
What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
Say it again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
You think it's gonna be funny, Big Show, but I disagree today about the game plan. I think the game plan offensively was dictated by the game. we started out the game like I wanted to do. Even though we started out slow, we started out with a physical presence. You know, we got 2 yards. We let our offensive linemen get into the game, and then we went to our pass. But the long drives that Philadelphia had, there was that we knew in this game that with them, or with every time Philadelphia has the ball, regardless if they get 3 and out, they're gonna have the ball for about 3 minutes. But they let the clock all the way down. They're not in a rush. And then when they put first downs together, the long drive made the amount of possessions limited. If you think about this game, if you go in the third quarter, the drive that we had, we ran the ball 3 or 4 times. We did Tony Pollard for 15 yards, Tony Pollard for 5 yards. Then we had that big game about Rico Dowdle, which I think is one of the worst holding calls I've seen in a long time, because that was a perfectly formed block, hands inside, not outside the body of a guy. The guy was not even the guy that could make a tackle. It was a pancake, a true pancake, and I don't understand where that holding call comes. And I'm not one of those ones talking about officiating calls, but that one is. I'm stunned by that one. That's a crazy call. But after that possession got killed by that holding call, if you think about it, when we got the ball again, we was down by 11 points with a team that you know gonna hold the ball, and your possessions are gonna be limited. So we went to a more of a passing attack. If you look at Dak's passing attempt when he got into the box. Other than that, I think that they did the same thing they were going to do this week. Last week, when they came out in the third quarter, they were going to establish run, and they started opening the run up. But when that penalty came, that put us behind the sticks. And when they scored that long touchdown, it really put us in a position where they kind of took our running game away from us, because, like I said, they're a time possession type team. Even though the time possession was even, at one point going into the second half, we were really losing the time possession, but we got some things in there. So again, I think it was a good football game. Yes, we lost. I'm not a person talking about officiating calls, but there were 2 calls in that game, and I understand you talk about the pass interference call on Gilmore. That flag was thrown out, the ball hit out of bounds.
Well, it was to be honest with you, that ball was uncatchable too. To be honest,
yeah, you look up at the ball. That ball here was out of bounds, and that was minimal contact at any. That's just like, hey, that didn't receive the end. So those were 2 momentum plays that really hurt us, and that holding call would really hurt us. But I think that they were going to run it, and the running game was opening up in the second half. But when we got that penalty, and then they get down and had that big pass and got up by 11, and we were going into the fourth quarter, that kind of took our running game away, because we couldn't be as patient with the running game then because of time possession type thing. But that played well. The team played well. We just didn't make some of the plays we did well, but I'm more encouraged by it because it's only week 8. Philadelphia came out of this game really, really banged up. I don't think we really came out of banged up. I don't want people to be so hard on Terrence Fields, because there was a lot of plays in that game that he made mistakes, but there was a lot of plays in that game where his protection is. So when you go back there to pass like that against a good team, you're gonna have some hiccups. But I think for overall, our offense moved the ball and done some things. Our defenses need to buckle down and understand the moment. We gave a lot of credit to our defense, but they're gonna have to stop some in games. They're gonna have to make the team. They're gonna have to do a little bit better in stopping people in certain situations. Maybe not all of them, but in certain situations. And that first drive out the second half was a blow to our team, because we went into halftime. You can't let them drive 75 yards before a touchdown right out the half. That's a stopping pitch. because that was kept the momentum on our side as our offense was moving and as our running game was. We could have got that ball back. We could have went up 10 points because I don't think they could stop us. But that really changed the momentum when they went up, and then we coming back to try to go back up, and that holding call just killed it. And so, again, I'm more encouraged by it. It's week 8. There's a possibility after week 10 or week 11, this thing could be all buttoned up. Because the Eagles go in these next 2 games with the injuries that I see that they got today, their next 2 games is going to be top-level games. And coming out of a Cowboys game like that, it's a lot of emotion, and you really don't like to go into another big game after a very emotional game like that because you can have a letdown, and that letdown could be like for 2 weeks. You've seen that happen in San Francisco.
Yeah. All right, appreciate you, Coach. Thank you so much for that.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, now. Bless you. Thank you. Coach was actually right on that part, but I didn't blame Terrence Steele. I blame the coaches because once you see him getting beat like that, you just can't all of a sudden assume that he's just going to turn into a all-pro lineman all of a sudden. No, he getting beat by everybody. Go get him some help. Put the tight end over there. I'm sorry. Maybe you're going to be one less receiver going out. Maybe
Call from
East side.
Oh Lord, maybe you don't need everybody going out. You got to get the guy some help. That's coaching. All right, Eastside Harold on the line. Let's see what he's talking about. Let's go.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine. How you doing?
I sent you a cash up. Did you receive that?
I did not. Well,
okay.
I did not, but I appreciate it if you did. Let me see.
Hey, we might need to get you a bill or something with that,
I see.
drown your sorrows.
Thank you for the cash up, brother. Appreciate you.
Hey, man. Brother, I don't support your team, but I support you as my fellow brother.
I appreciate that.
We might not all agree, but we could agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And I remember calling you a couple of days ago, sir. And I kind of told you this was going to happen. This was a big game. And, we know what Dak does in big games.
What did he do today?
Oh, he choked.
Oh, no.
He didn't perform up to standards as the way as you guys said. You guys say this guy's elite. But, he proved otherwise. And, it was another guy in Texas that took care of business. But we're not going to get into that, We're not going to get into that. We're going to talk about Dak.
Yeah, and what you just said about Dak is not true. The only thing you can give him any type of credit for was that he stepped out of bounds on that 2-point conversion. Other than that, he was on fire today. So go ahead. I'm trying to figure out when you say he choked. That's all I'm trying to figure out. Please,
hey,
let me know that.
That stepped out of bounds.
Now, if you say he didn't win, I got you on it. I believe he did not win. And it really is more than just him. But I'm trying to figure out where the choking is because you're very much off on that. Other than the step out of bounds, where did he choke? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He come up big, sir. He didn't come up big, sir. He didn't make the big plays, sir.
Yes, he did. Eastside.
Yes, he did. Do you remember the final score?
Yeah, I remember, but are you blaming Dak for that? Is that what you're trying to do? Or is it somewhere else you can point to?
See, the problem is, sir, y'all don't give Dak no blame, most of y'all. He has no blame in some of y'all lives. Some of you guys were bifocal. And y'all can't see it.
Eastside. The man had.
Yes, sir.
Man went 374 yards and 3 touchdowns, no turnover. What are you saying? What are you saying? Other than the 2-point conversion, what are you saying, man? I know he didn't win, but what are you saying? I mean, I'm serious. 374 yards, 3 touchdowns. What are you talking about? Where did he choke?
He didn't rise to the occasion,
Yes, he
like
did.
Jalen Hurts, sir. Jalen Hurts showed the difference how he elevated his game. Jalen Hurts has surpassed Dak.
Jalen Hurts had 17 for 23, 207 yards and 2 touchdowns. That ain't. He won.
He made the plays that need to be made.
His defense played well. That's what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Dak.
You know what I noticed?
Go ahead. Cause you ain't talking about that because you still ain't showed me.
No. Sorry, you don't say the same thing. Like I listened to your show earlier. You don't say the same thing as I say, but when you say it, it's like when you was talking about next week when they play the Giants and Panthers or whoever, they gonna beat them, and you guys gonna be talking about, oh, here we go, we back on the road, and here's Super Bowl buying.
No, ain't nobody.
That's the same thing I be calling in and saying y'all be doing.
Ain't nobody said nothing about Super Bowl over here. What you saying?
Man.
Have you heard me say Super Bowl?
Have you ever ran into a Cowboys fan before?
Of course. Have you heard it on this show? Man, get off my phone, man. You ain't talking about it. Goodbye.
Hey, man, I was just calling you know.
Goodbye.
Hey, brother, get you a little bit with that cash app. And, you know, hey.
Thank you
I'll be calling you again.
Thank you for your contribution, Eastside. God bless you. Goodbye. See, y'all wanna say that, but there was no choke. It was just a team loss. Schoonmaker got stopped at the half-inch line after that. Looked like a touchdown. That's not on Dak. I will say that Dak stepped out of bounds on their part. Could have been a 3-point lead where we didn't have to score a touchdown. That is on Dak. I want to give you that. The 2 penalties, not 2 penalties. The 2 sacks that were given up by Steele was huge. And really, you had to get to the end zone from about, the 25-yard line. I was shocked that Lamb even caught the ball there at the end. But your chances of scoring a touchdown are very slim in a play like that, especially when everybody's backing up. Well, let's not get just too ridiculous. Dak played a great game. He played a great game. Just lost. Bottom line. Who is this? Who is this? Oh. Hold on a second, whoever that is. Hold on. I don't know why my thing is going out. Just give me a second.
Okay.
All right. Al, you on now. Who is this?
It's Bronson again.
Bronson again. What's up, bro?
Yes, I had to say one thing. As an Eagles fan, I don't think we accept Eastside as an Eagles fan because he's talking nonsense. You have to give players their due. Dak played a good game.
I appreciate
You can't sit here and say Dak choked or anything like that. He didn't get the win, but you have to be humble and you have to know a little bit of sport. Dak played well. Yeah. And that's the Eagles fan saying that.
He didn't make
he stepped out of bounds. They came up short, but Eastside, I think he was just rambling on about nothing.
We don't give Eastside too much credit. He's a Cowboy troll. That's what he is. Yeah. He just goes around all Cowboy podcasts and just be yapping, and he just always, that's just what he do. We don't pay attention. He called in. He good. He's a crazy supporter of the show. So I let him run his mouth. That's all. For sure.
But he played well. They just came up short, and we got to see y'all in Dallas. Hopefully, we'll have the first seed locked up, and y'all will be playing our practice squad, second and third stringers. So you might get that win, but
we'll see.
We'll see y'all again.
We'll see you. Appreciate you, Bronson. Bro. Thank you, bro.
No problem. Bye-bye. Appreciate you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of y'all. Those of you that are on YouTube, y'all put that up there. Y'all hit that heart button for me. If you're on Facebook right now, hit that like button for me if you don't mind. The call-in line is open. As you can see, 901-654-6853. Cowboys lose a heartbreaker again, in spectacular fashion. JD, I see. What you say, JD? Let's see. JD says even the last pass Dak threw to Lamb, he put the little shirt out of harm's way to hopefully let Lamb make something happen. Wherever the other receivers at 2, get the lateral though. Well, I believe he had his eyes glued on CD. He was going to go to his best player regardless whether he was there or not. Brian says, big time, tell if you like Dak or would rather have a different quarterback. Dak is fine. I mean, if you tell me who, you give me options on who I will want, you got to give me the name and I'll tell you. I mean, last thing we're going to do on this one, because it would be totally not true. I mean, did he get the job done at the end? The ball was in his hands? No. But y'all talking like Dak threw 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. No, he lit the Eagles up today. He did. Y'all nitpicking. Y'all sound like Stephen A. Smith now. Can't blame that. I'm blaming coaching. I'm not blaming refs. I'm blaming bad coaching. We gonna see y'all nitpicking. See, this is the Stephen A. stuff. Stuff like this right here. He's not fast enough. That type of stuff. Come on now. He's never been fast. That ain't what we're talking about. Now here's the bottom line, and I agree with Kid Cowboy. He lost. That's the bottom line. And it really ain't he, it's the team. But I guess one of the narratives that I've always said about Dak was that if we're down in the fourth quarter, down by 2 scores, it's the record, it goes down again. It's just another chapter. We didn't get over the hump. That's what I've always said about him. But usually you can point the finger and say, good Lord, Dak, did you see that man there? Why you throw that? See, we can't say all that today. We couldn't say that today. We couldn't say, well, Dak missed that. I mean, oh my God, why did he throw in triple coverage and all that? That wasn't the day. He was really, to be honest with you, since y'all say we don't have no running game, good Lord, if it wasn't for Dak, we would have got beat by 50 today. I mean, according to the way that I want to play Dak, we would have lost by at least 30. He was the one that kept us in the game. It wasn't the running game. It wasn't the defense. It was, look, as great as we say our defense is, it wasn't the defense. They were bend but don't break today. That's what the defense was. They were bend but don't break. They didn't let them get too far out there with points, but they were bend. We didn't get them out the field like we were supposed to in a lot of areas. They went for 2. They went for done that first drive. I mean, good God, 2 4th down conversions. I get the 4th and 1, but there was one of them where they went for 4th and 3. I mean, holy Christ! You gotta get these guys off the field. I remember the first half, I was in the chat and I said, good God, just no respect for the defense at all. Just ain't trying to punt the ball. Just 4th down in their own territory within the 34, 35-yard line. 4th and inches. I mean, good God, just no, even though I know the tush push or whatever y'all call it, the brotherly push, I believe is what y'all Philly fans call it. I mean, but good God, where you putting it at? I mean, where you running this at? It's just unbelievable. Just no respect for any defense. Hey, I guess they saying, look, if you can't stop it, hey, we ain't got to run it. Hey, come on, man. We ain't got to punt it. You don't have to punt it. You can't stop it. 4th and 3, though. I was like, come on, man. I'm saying 4th and 3. I mean, come on. Against our defense? That was the first drive I'm talking about. That was made it 7-0. Had 2 opportunities to get them off the field. Couldn't do it. So it's more all y'all that's trying to blame Dak, and trust me, if you've been on my show, which a lot of you have not, but trust me, if there's anybody that is a Cowboy fan but is very skeptical and very critical of Dak Prescott, it's me. Now, if you don't believe me, just ask all these folks in here that's been with me a while. They will tell you that I'm one that want to take it out of Dak Prescott's hand. They will tell you that. But today, and tonight, at least this afternoon, y'all can't blame it on Dak Prescott today. If it weren't for Dak, we would have lost by 30. We would have lost by 30 today. Dak Prescott, it wasn't Pollard. It wasn't Rico. It sure wasn't Mike McCarthy running plays. It was not the running game that kept us in the game. It was Dak Prescott throwing to people like CeeDee Lamb and throwing to Jake Ferguson and a couple plays, and Gallup played a little better in the second half than he did in the first half. That's the person that kept us in the game was Dak Prescott. I can't go. Trust me, if it was Dak, I would tell you, and you know I would. AC, I see you here. Yeah, Jake Ferguson had a huge game. I said it was gonna happen yesterday. It was Dak Prescott. It was not. No, Dak held us in the game today. I can't go off on him. Other than the only thing, and if you want to just find a nitpick, is when he tried to get that 2-point conversion, had it, but he stepped out of bounds, and it wasn't that crucial because he was out running everybody. So I can't give that. I can't.
Call from
Cowboy Marlon.
I can't give it to him. All right. What's up, Marlon? What's going on?
Bishop, hey, what's going on, man?
We all right. What's up?
All right. I don't want to be too long-winded. I have a tendency to do that, but I got a lot on my mind, Brooks.
Go.
First of all, Eastside made me mad because I think he's trolling you.
Oh,
There's
I know.
no way.
Oh, yeah. That's easy.
There's no way in the world
You ain't got to give him no
that you
free
can look
play.
at this football game. There's no way that anyone looked at this football game and said Dak Prescott cost the Cowboys the game.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to get too intricate into football nuances, but there's 3 things that you look at on offense. You look at personnel, you look at play calling, and you look at play design. Play design and play calling is usually where your head coach / offensive coordinator, in this case, you got one person that's both are involved. I thought that the Dallas Cowboys play design today was outstanding. As a matter of fact, this was about the best. As a matter of fact, yeah, I'm going to say it. This was the best play design that I've seen in the Mike McCarthy era. There are people that are going to say, well, man, Dallas' offense has executed far more than what they did today. But here's the difference. Yeah, you scored 43 points last week against the Rams. But what you have to look at is you got to look at who you're playing against and what they typically give up. Philadelphia has a good defense. I don't think they're elite. They're not complete. I think Philadelphia has got weaknesses in the secondary. Would you agree with that, Brooke? That their secondary is not elite?
Dak threw for 374 yards against them. That answers your question.
Sure, but what I'm saying is I think Philadelphia's personnel department would agree that they're not elite. Because if they thought they were elite, they wouldn't have gone this week and tried to upgrade and bring in better personnel than what they already had. So the fact, if we're halfway through the season and you're trying to add pieces, you think that you've got some flaws. Do you agree there?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I think you saw today was Dallas looked at Philadelphia and says, hey, this punt is formidable. When we run the ball, we're going to have to pick and choose our spots. And like I said, I don't want to be too technical, but Philadelphia decided to play 5 under, which basically is man-to-man underneath on all eligible receivers with 2 safeties deep over the top. You play that when you want to keep everything in front of you. So what Dallas did, they came out in the first half and said, okay, if you're going to be man under, guess what that means? That means that all the defensive backs got their back turned. If I'm not mistaken, 3 of the first 5 plays that Dallas had, Dak Prescott ran the football. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what Dallas is basically telling Philly, if you're going to choose that style of play, Dallas ran the ball with Dak because and I know, listen, I want everybody out here to know, Lewis and I have played football together for a long time. I think we've been playing ball together since we were, 12 or 13 years old? Something like that.
It was early in the net.
Maybe. Lewis and I played Pee Wee ball together before hockey. So we view the game of football in a similar fashion. Now, Bishop, where I think I diverge from you a little bit is we both agree that running the football is an essential way to operate. You got to run the ball that sets up the play action pass. But I'm going to give deference to Dallas, coaching staff. I'm not saying that they did a good job today, but I'm saying they didn't believe. This reminds me of the Tampa game. You remember last year, Dallas came out and threw the heck out of the ball. I think Dak had 51 attempts. They didn't believe that they can block the nose tackle for Tampa the first game of the season. They didn't believe that their front could block Tampa. And they passed them silly. And they did. It was similar today. Dallas looked at the tape and said, hey, we don't think we can block Fletcher Cox. We don't think we can block the big defensive tackle from Georgia that they brought in last year in the first round. We don't believe we can block these people. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to have a quick passing game, and we're going to hit them in the secondary because they're weak on the back. And you cannot say that didn't work. I thought they did an excellent job of getting CeeDee Lamb open. I think they did a really good job. I think the tight end did a good job for the most part, both of them. I think the Dallas did a really good job of setting up plays based on what they saw that they had. You got to play the hand that you have. I think Dallas's offensive, McCarthy basically. I guess maybe the other coaches might be involved. I think they looked at Philly and says, well, we can't block them up front, but what can we do? They didn't, well, we ain't just going to concede and fold and mail the game in. Let's attack them where we think we can. And if I'm not mistaken, this was the second highest yardage output. They didn't have as many points as they've had in some other games, but a lot of that had to do with the decision-making in game. Lewis, if you're down by 11 points, tell me how many scores you need.
Need 2 touchdowns to get over top.
So what's the purpose of going for it on 4th down? Even if you pin them back deep, what's the purpose of going for it? Why not just take the field goal and make it a 1-possession game? You need 2 scores anyway. Yep. Even if you had been successful and scored the touchdown, don't you still have to stop them and get the ball back and get another score?
Yeah. Could have won with that.
So then let me ask you this. Looking at this in hindsight, going for it on 4th down and coming away 1st and 5 with 0 points, to me, is not, Dak stepped out on a 2-point conversion and it hurt. But to me, the ball game came down to Dallas had too many possessions where they penetrated and got inside the 20 and came away with no points. I'm including the last possession. You got down to the 6-yard line and you didn't score. Yep. You went for it on 4th down and didn't score on the play where the guy caught the ball and he was just a little bit short. Why not in a game like this? Your defense was playing reasonably well, I thought. If you think about it, you were up 17-14 at the half. You gave up a couple of touchdowns in the second half. And most of that was like early in the third when Philly kind of asserted themselves. But I thought Dallas settled themselves, and I thought that Dallas's defense played well, considering this was an explosive offense. Did we basically hold Philadelphia less than what they typically get at home? Did I not see where Philly's averaging 33, 34 points a game at home on offense?
Yeah, defense played well enough.
So
they were banned and just don't break.
The defense played well enough to win. The offense played well enough to win. This is what happened today. You perhaps played the best football team in the NFL at their place, and it literally came down to the last 20 seconds of the ball game. We have nothing to be ashamed of. They got to come back to Arlington. If I'm not mistaken, what have we won? 12 games in a row? They're at our place.
Yeah, but the only thing that I'm saying about it is still a lot of football to be played. You just don't want to get behind 2.5 games. That's all I'm saying. There's still a lot of football to be played. A lot of things can happen, but you depending on a lot of other stuff to happen in order for them to somewhat have a chance to win. We got to. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I lost you. Well, I ain't lose you. I just got to put you back on my thing here. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, you're back. You're back.
We may not win the division, but if Dallas does not win the division, it's not going to be because we lost today.
No.
It's going to be because, in all likelihood, you and I had private conversation, and whatever we talk about in private, that's us. I thought when Dallas lost to Arizona that was going to come back and bite us, and you know what?
Yes, sir. Said that yesterday.
So in reality, Dallas lost to who I believe are the two best teams in the NFC on the road. That's not anything to be ashamed about. If you lost 28-27, if you lost 42-10, it's all going to wind up being the same thing. If you had given San Francisco a choice, if San Fran had rather had beaten Dallas and lost their next 3 games, or would they have rather lost to Dallas and won the next 3 games? I bet you they'd rather lose that 1 game and win the next 3 because then they'd be first place in the conference. Look, when you look at Stephen A's rankings and all of these other rankings, and you hear them listing all these other teams, Detroit's a contender. They got blown out this year. San Fran's a contender. They lost 3 games in a row. Philly is legit. If I'm not mistaken, Seattle got whooped with an extension cord today. Did they not?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Brooks, and then I'm going to let you go. We agree San Fran and Philadelphia are the same 2 teams that's probably better than us right now. I think what we proved is we're on that level of team. Other than San Fran, other than Philly, who else right now in the NFC do you think is on that level with Dallas?
Detroit.
All right, what I'm going to challenge you to do is this is what I want you to do. I want, when I hang up, I want you to go to Philadelphia. I want you to go to Detroit Lions schedule, and I want you to tell me, has Detroit beaten anybody this year with more than 2 wins?
Don't have to. Look at the division they playing.
Well,
that's a possible 6 wins though. So that's why I'm saying.
No, but because here's the problem. That is probably 6 wins. Well, I think they've already got a division loss, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't they lose to Minnesota already? Am I not mistaken on that?
I don't know. I don't keep up with Detroit. I don't keep up with Detroit.
Okay, but what I'm saying is when Dallas wins all their games in the division, I hear these clowns call in on your show. I hear you, Stephen, well, they ain't beat nobody. Dallas didn't make the schedule out. We didn't schedule nobody for homecoming. Listen, the Giants is up next. The Cowboys are going to handle the Giants and they're going to blow them out. Well, they ain't played nobody. Lewis, what else can we do other than win the games on our schedule? We win most of the games. What else can we do, man?
Yeah, but the games that we need to win, we don't. That's just the bottom line. That's the bottom line. The games that we need to win, we don't. Because those wins count. Those wins count for something a whole lot bigger. I ain't talking about on the inside. I'm talking about conference standings. But it makes no difference if you end up with the same record, which probably won't happen, obviously. All they're going to do is go to head. Guess what? We ain't there. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, let me ask you this. Today, do we agree today Dallas didn't really get out schemed? I don't even think Dallas got out coached.
I do. That's no.
I think Dallas was out personnel. I think that Philadelphia Eagles got a pass rusher that was better than our right tackle. And I'm not saying that our right tackle blew the game all by himself, but I would say that this is the worst single performance of any offensive player since we played the Falcons about 4 or 5 years.
And guess what? It didn't have to be that way. That's coaching. When you finish saying that, When they lost, when Terrence Steele gave up 4 sacks, at some point, it should have been the first one. It's kind of like last week. They learned their lesson last week against Aaron Donald. When they thought that Zach Martin could hold Aaron Donald last week till Aaron Donald destroyed him. And then they did what every other offensive coordinator did against Aaron Donald. They doubled him from that point on, because you're saying, okay, Zach, you can't beat Aaron Donald. You done gave up 2 sacks. Well, the same thing should have happened today with Terrence Steele when he went against Hassan Reddick and Brandon Graham. Somebody up there with their headsets on should have said, hey, Terrence is getting beat easily. We need to put a tight end over there. If that means that tight end
so let me ask this.
don't go out, that's
let me ask
coaching.
this now. Let me ask you this. Is that coaching, or is that the Dallas personnel department, whether it be Will McClay or Jerry Jones, not getting us? We knew we needed a tackle. Even if
we're going all the way to the back of the beginning. We're talking about this game. Your man is getting beat.
But
your man is getting beat. No, your man is getting beat. Your man is getting beat. Get him help. That's bottom line.
When they made the statement and said, hey, we like our guys. If your guys aren't good enough, your personnel people have to be good enough. They know what that guy can do.
The bottom line is, if you seeing your man getting beat over there consistently, which Terrence Steele was, you just don't let him keep getting beat. You go put a tight end over there and double team the pass rusher, because those are their best pass rushers. Hassan Reddick is one of the best in the league. Brandon Graham is one of the all-time greats in Philadelphia. That's coaching. You don't consistently let your man get destroyed over there. That's what they did. That's what they did with Aaron Donald last year. That's what they did with Aaron Donald last week.
I agree with what you're saying, but here's the problem with it. If we're talking football technicality, if you keep an extra potential receiver in the block and they're running 5 under, two over the top, 2 deep zone, or 2 deep over the top, they're playing zone on the back end, man under. They're playing 5 under, man, 2 deep. If you keep a pass receiver in, then you allow them to double team both sides. You allow them to give safety help.
I don't even want to see.
And because now they got 5 defenders against 4 potential receivers with 2 over the top.
I don't want to see.
We can throw the ball like that.
I don't want the receiver. Your one man can beat him. You ain't got to be both tight ends going out. Good Lord, keep one of the tight ends in to help block. You ain't got to have 2 tight ends going out.
I think they thought by having 5 receivers in the tree, they're 5 under. That means it's man coverage on each of the eligible receivers. If you keep an eligible receiver in the block, now you can double team underneath and give safety over the top. If they take CD away, I don't think you can throw the ball.
You can't rely.
I don't think you
can, and that works. That all works if the pass rush is not getting in. Cowboys made the same mistake they did with Aaron Donald. Still saying the same thing last week, and they corrected it. They didn't correct it this week. They continue to let Terrence Steele go one-on-one with Hassan Reddick and Brandon Graham, and those 2 sacks in their final drive hurt us. It hurt us in the beginning.
Yeah, but I think it's easier to help with an interior pass rusher. You can take your center and guard on a 1 technique, or you can double team a 3 technique. But when it's an outside pass rusher, all you can do is chip with the back or keep the tight end in.
And chip with the back then. Chip with the back. You ain't got to be a tight end. Chip with the back then. Chip. You ain't try to chip. You didn't do nothing. You just let them keep running. Chip with the running back if you're gonna do something. But the one thing you can't do, which is what the Cowboys did, you let Terrence Steele keep going one-on-one with guys who are obviously whipping him. You cannot do that. You can't do it. It's kind of like that game years ago in Atlanta when they had that Chaz Green dude, and the dude had gave up six or 7 sacks in one game. Ain't done nothing. I mean, that was a couple years ago, a few years ago actually. You can't just let.
2017 actually.
Yeah, you can't let that. You can't let that happen, man. That's what happened today. You got to change your game plan up.
See, I think you and I are saying the same thing. You think it's coaching that they should have given them help. But I'm saying I think it's personnel. They should have known based on you got to know your team. They should have known that
And
that
if-
guy, whether he's healthy or not, he can't handle it. I think they should have made a roster. Why not make a trade and bring in the
Oh, well, that's the trade deadline. No, we ain't talking about that. If you know your guy,
we like our guy. I think it's the problem.
well,
I mean, we like our
that's
guy. I don't like that.
that's off season stuff. I ain't talking about that now because they know we can do about it.
Well,
Since you
the
know,
Eagles, they don't agree with you.
well,
They
said no,
bring
no.
in people. They bring in players during the season. You ain't got to wait for the off season if you need help, man. Why couldn't you go and get a tackle Tuesday?
You ain't got to do that.
Compensation if you know.
You ain't got to do that. What I'm still saying the same thing. You ain't got to go to get no help. You got help. Chip with the back, like every other team does when they got a problem. What do you think Michael Parsons been getting all this time? Chips. Hello. Chip. Nobody goes one-on-one with Michael Parsons. Tight end, chip him. Running back, chip him. Guess what? Same thing should have happened today. When you finish talking, the help is already there. Get in front of them. Slow them up a little bit. Slow down the pass rush. But one thing,
I'm gonna give you credit. I think you probably won this today for a change, anyway.
yeah, man. I mean, because you ain't talking about nothing. You a coach yourself. You not gonna let your offensive tackle keep getting whipped the whole game. You know better than that. That's
But
coaching.
I thought coming into the game, I talked to you before the game. I thought coming into the game, the Dallas would lose, and I thought the Dallas would lose because I thought Dallas is 5 blockers up front wouldn't be able to handle Philadelphia. This game went almost exactly, not the score. I didn't think the score, this is not what I thought the score would be, but I thought Dallas was going to lose the game because I thought first of all, our offensive line is overrated. Everybody says Dallas has got a good offensive line. Our offensive line is mediocre at best. I think we're below average. We don't have a good line. We got one good player, 2 average players at this point, and we got 2 liabilities. Biotic is a liability. Our right tackle, honestly, and I'm going to let you go, Brooks, you got to get on other people. Would you consider benching him at this point if your other tackle that got hurt last week it comes back? Because I thought Udoka played better than our start. I know you just gave him $50 million. I don't care about that. Would you consider benching him? He obviously is not healthy because I've seen our right tackle still has played better football than what I thought.
He's still getting over the ACL, man. I said all this yesterday. He's not right. I said this yesterday.
Let him play when he's healthy. If he can't help the football team right now, then I think you got to get somebody else in there that can, man.
I appreciate it. We'll talk a little bit later. All right. Bye. Y'all have to understand, that's one of my best friends. He's one of them debate type guys. I mean, he know he wrong, but he gonna steadily try to prove his point and think that he right. It's common sense. And the sad part is he coached football, so he know better. If you need some help for Terrence Steele, you give him the help. You see him getting destroyed. Good Lord. Get him some help. It's nothing to talk about. This is easy to figure out. You just not gonna. Michael Parsons been getting chipped all year long. Running backs, defense, because they're not gonna let him destroy the game. We should have took that same approach to whoever Terrence Steele was. Now I will say this. I said this yesterday. I can't blame Terrence Steele because everybody knows, as everybody keeps saying, no matter the sport, when you're coming off an ACL injury, you can come back in 8-9 months, but you're not really all there. We saw this with Michael Gallup last year. Yes, he got the clearance from the doctors. Yes, he could play, but the problem was he was not himself. And they usually say it takes time for everybody. It takes time for people who have ACL. It takes another whole year for them to get back to themselves. Terrence Steele is out there just plugging along. Next year, he's going to be back to his old self. This year, he's going to struggle. And that's what you're seeing right now. That's what you're seeing. So because he is struggling, you got to get him some help. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. All right. I appreciate you guys. I got time for maybe one more. You can call in. It's a good show tonight. I appreciate all y'all. While y'all there, everybody hit that like button for me if you don't mind. Everybody hit that like button. Everybody hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, hit that heart button for me. Hit that heart button for me. This is just all off the top of my head. Like I said before, when the all 22 tape gets here, I'll be able to look at it just a little bit more clearer. But I think I'm right on what I saw today. Just watching the TV. I do know I'm right about Terrence Steele. I ain't got to ask about that because I could see that. That was 1-on-1 and that was horrible. You can't do that. I'm not blaming Terrence Steele for the loss. It's just some things we could have done to make things leave a little bit more better. And we did. We chose not to do that. That's where that pride thing comes into play. You know the man need help. Get him help. It's not hard. Yeah, Justin, yeah. They got away with a couple holes on Parsons. We all know that. We saw that. Michael Parsons almost lost his mind in doing one play for that. It is what it is. But I'm not going to blame the refs. I'm not, because there were some things that they could have called as well for Philly, and they let that go too. They let them play today, if you ask me. There were some obvious calls that should have been made, obviously. Yeah. Well, no, Tony, you're wrong on that. He wasn't looking at the knees. He ran into DeMarcus Lawrence on that. He stepped up. DeMarcus Lawrence was on the ground looking the other way. He didn't go at his knee. He was just there, so I can't let you do that one, man. He didn't go at his knee at all. Maybe a couple to lead. You say could Dak have thrown the ball away on some of those sacks? Just maybe a couple. But here goes. That's another problem for Dak Prescott. That we, once you really look back, how many times have you really seen Dak Prescott throw the ball away? He don't do that. He try to make a play. He rarely throws the ball out of bounds. That's just how he is. Let me answer this last call here.
Call from
Terry.
I believe I got my brother there. Terry, what's going on?
Hey, man. A little disappointed because that game was there for us to win.
Yep.
Without question. It was placed in our lap, and we literally, instead of having the little carry-out tray with the three little compartments or whatever, we had the little 1970 paper plate, just wasted the food right all in our lap. It was given to us. But, I still look at it and I'm like, Rico Dowdle, you saw that he should have been running the ball more than Tony Pollard. I could care less about how much money he's making. And I keep hearing, we throwing Steele under the bus. Steele ain't got no business being out there to begin with. But I saw it, and they showed it in slow motion like 2 times, trying to show what it's up. I saw that boy go around Zach Martin. And every play, that boy was going around Zach Martin. And I'm like, hold up, we paying for this.
Yeah. And
then I saw that on the offensive line, it's enough blame to go around. And I'm not the biggest Prescott fan there is. But I can't even blame him today. I mean, what did he do? The only thing he did wrong is you got to cut half his foot off so he could get the 2 points.
That's the only thing that was wrong. That was the only thing. That if you want to put a blemish on it, that was the only thing he did wrong. He's the reason why the game was close. It wasn't because of the running game. It wasn't because of the defense.
Okay.
It was Dak. Dak killed us in the day. Just didn't close the show.
And I'm asking, is Brandon Cooks hurt?
No.
Because literally he just out there running around for his health.
Brandon caught one ball today.
He can't. Ooh, one ball. I remember. My grandma used to say a blind squirrel get a nut every now and then. Find him a nut. He caught one ball
One ball.
I declare to God, and you know what? At 51, I could get out there and I could catch one ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I could leave the backfield and run a wheel route.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't got to track the ball. I ain't got to none of that. I ain't got to track the ball or do none of that. If he gonna just do one catch, let's put Tobit in that spot. Somebody that's gonna press the defense.
Yeah.
Somebody that can help give you an advantage. I mean, they got tape on you, so they know what to do with you.
Yeah.
Because you're only catching one ball.
Yeah.
I saw CD catch the ball, and it looked like it was 3 guys around. And then when he caught that last one trying to score at the end, I mean, it was definitely 3 guys around on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
so let's get some people in there. Let's get some people in there that demand the double team. And
I rest my case on that.
I just want to see take this same fight to the rest of the season. Okay, that San Francisco game, that's not an aberration, but when it comes to your season, take your best game and throw it out. Take your worst game and throw it out. You are what's in the middle. That's your consistency. Yeah. So right now we can throw out that San Francisco game and with that Giant game 40 to
nothing.
Throw them out.
40 to nothing.
And we what's in the middle.
Yeah,
and what's in the middle needs to run Rico Dowdle just as much as you running Tony Pollard, because that's where your power coming at. Yeah. When they called it back, and I hate to say this, but it was on the rest. I thought it was a little home cooking on some of them calls, but I'm a Cowboys fan, so
well,
that Rico Dowdle play.
There was some calls that obviously were questionable, but I'm gonna say the same thing on the other side. They missed some of the calls. Some Philly can say the same thing too. I believe they let them play.
Yeah.
I believe they let them play. On both sides. Now there were some things that should have been obviously called, but overall, I want to say they were pretty much consistent. Everybody had about the same amount of penalties. Yeah. Almost the same amount of yards. It was just the timing and when those missed calls happened. The bottom line is, as me and you like to always say, Terry, it's simple. It's really simple. Did you win or did you lose? And too many times, the Cowboys in these type games always seem to get the short end of the stick. It just is. It ain't just started this year. It ain't started last year. This is a continual problem for us. We just cannot, for some reason, get over this hurdle against the upper echelon type team. Well, whoever fault it is or whoever you want to blame it, the bottom line is we just can't get over the hurdle. Now, next week, I'm expecting us to stomp a mud hole in the Giants next week, and we need that. We got a lot of games at home, but once we play,
burger.
Well, I mean, like I ain't got the schedule. It's just like I can pull it up. I'll do that. It's just like I could just tell you now because I know my team. I could just and see what we also doing. We can't afford a slip. You understand? Against the Cardinals, we can't afford that type of game. We got to keep winning. Like this week, okay? We got the Giants next week, all right? Well, based on what I've seen, we should beat the Giants. We got Carolina.
And see, after that, that's that murderer's row.
Well, I'm saying we got Carolina. We should beat Carolina. We on the road there. Washington, which is always a tough game for some reason. We got Washington, but we should win that. The Seattle game is at home. Seattle playing pretty good football, even though they got destroyed today. But Seattle might be a tough game. Then we got Philly in Dallas. Then we go play at Buffalo. All right, that's going to be a tough one. Then we got to go to Miami. That's going to be a tough one. Then we got Detroit in Dallas. Then we close out with Washington. So that last 3 or 4 games is going to be the way it is. But the way we're playing, I could just about tell you what games we gonna win off the top of my head. Giants, we're gonna win that. Carolina, we're gonna win that. Washington, that's Thanksgiving, we're gonna win that. I think we're gonna beat Seattle. That's 4 more wins. We got Philly. I believe we're gonna beat Philly at home. Then we got at Buffalo and at Miami. Those are my questionables. Then we play Detroit, which may turn out to be a very big game, the way things are going now. So you can just about tell where we gonna be at. I'm serious. Barring injury, of course. You could just see it. And but sooner or later, guess what? In order to be trying to get to where you're trying to go, you're gonna have to beat one of these guys up here. Right now, we ain't getting it done. We're not getting it done, Terry. Oh, I'm sorry. I lost Terry. Terry, I lost you for a minute. I was wondering why I was just talking about myself. Hold on a second. All right, Terry, I know you still there. I apologize. I didn't know you was not there.
Yeah, I was here. I was trying to chime in on what you were saying. My thing is always what, every Cowboy fan that knows we got them 3 games in 11 days with that Thanksgiving game in the middle.
Yep.
And now, this is where we get tripped up at. Somebody always get hurt that we really need in them 3 games in 11 days.
Yep. Well, hopefully we don't. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Hopefully we don't. We just got to see.
That's just that's one of the ones that I look at or whatever. I mean, because the health factor starts to come in now. It's real football. The health, everybody banged up, everybody bust up, and you got to go on ahead against the best man in football. He just started putting his uniform on this week, and he gonna be in full effect mode in about another 2 weeks. That's old man Winter, and he went on ahead. His sister called him and said, "Hey, come over here and get your crazy nephew." And Jack Frost was over there hanging out the car. So we got to go to Buffalo, and that's going to be a freezing game. And then you leave from there, and you go on down to the warm, sunny Miami. But those 2, I don't want to just make the playoffs. I want to make a run.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that got to happen for us to make a run. And the bottom line is we got a lot of things we can point at. Scheme, coaching, all that kind of stuff. I know we all want to make a run, but sooner or later we got to start calling things like they are. We're not putting ourselves in prime position to make the run just by the way we play and call things at some time. And some things that are simple we just don't do. It take us a whole game to try to figure this thing out. So I don't know. We got a lot of work to do to catch up. We're a second tier NFC team. That's where we are. Truth be told, we're a second tier NFC team. I understand San Francisco lost 3, but you take away a Trent Williams and you take away a Debo Samuels, you're gonna lose a few football games. But they're coming back. So when they come back now, they're gonna be back to where they once were. So that's the way I look at that. Now Philly is just a real good football team, and they win. They're 8-1 for a reason. We're not on that level. We're not, and that's the way we gotta look at it. Now after that, we're on that same level with Detroit and the other division, Seattle. That's where we are. We haven't done enough to. And I understand this is the one game, and everybody like to say Dak is 8-1 against all that. Well, you got the L today for that, and we played well, if you ask me. But here's the bottom line. Guess what? Probably the way it's looking, because I don't think there's a lot of football left. But as of right now, I don't think we're going to win the division, which means we're going to be battling for a wild card spot. And then we're going to either be 5th and 6th, and we're going to be playing on the road. Now, your only hope is if you're 5th seed, you're playing the worst division winner. Right now, that worst division winner is somebody out of NFC South, which is either New Orleans, Atlanta, Tampa, or Carolina. It's probably gonna be Tampa or New Orleans, one of them. But then again, you're playing on the road in the playoff game. Anything can happen, but that's the way that's where you're gonna go if you're a 5th seed. But if you're a 6th seed, you're playing the 3rd ranked team or the 3rd best division winner. As of right now, that would probably be the NFC
Minnesota.
Yeah, the Minnesota division, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit. Well, it'd be Detroit actually, and then you got to go to Detroit.
Yeah, I forgot.
You got to go to Detroit on the road, and them boys are playing, and ain't no doubt about that. So what I'm saying is, you got a hard road. You talking about making a run. If you get past the first round, now you got Philly on the road or San Francisco on the road. Pick your choice in the playoff. So if the Cowboys really gonna make that type of run, it's gonna take something special, and they're gonna have to be real solid in every area to get it done. And right now, they done had a few tests as of today. We ain't getting it done. We ain't beat San Francisco yet.
Yeah.
That's been at home or on the road. We ain't beat them nowhere. And then on Philly, we played Philly without Jalen Hurts. We beat them. They played us without Dak Prescott. They beat us. Now we finally got the matchup again. Now we got today. And even though Dak played well, another great game for him individually. The bottom line is, guess what? We got the L.
We lost.
And that's the bottom line. And so you just don't bowl well. And then the other part about it is this, Terry, and I'm gonna let you go. The other bad part is I keep hearing the same thing over and over again. I'm about sick of it. We got to get the running game going. Every week I hear the same thing, and you ain't got it going. And all I'm saying is the same play, a shotgun dive up the middle. I don't get it. You just said the key point. Everybody can kind of see Rico runs the ball a little bit tougher as of right now than Tony Pollard. Why is he not getting more carries? He only had 2 carries. He only had 2 carries today. Pollard only had 12.
And on that one where he actually busted, then they got called back for the flag. Yeah. I'm like, man, you see what this man doing? Go ahead and go back.
You talking about you got to get the running game going, but you don't call running plays. Tony Pollard and Rico combined had 14 carries today. That's it. Of course you ain't getting no running game on going. You ain't running it. Shoot. You ain't calling the plays to run it. It don't make no sense.
When I'm right there with my wife and I. Now she an Eagle fan, and that's a dynamic. And there's so many people talking about I want to be at your house or where y'all gonna watch the game at or whatever. But we didn't go out to that little Eagles ball we got here in Savannah. Because the Cowboys and the Eagles was gonna be there today, and when Hunter Lemke, when he came in, I said, finally, we gonna go in ahead and power run this ball, do something, let them big boys lean on that defensive line. Now I'm telling her, I say the team that's able to, you don't have to be able to run 10 yards, 8 yards every play or whatever. You just keep doing it. You got to wear down on them. You don't cut a tree down with your first swing. That tree ain't coming down. You got to keep chopping wood.
Yeah.
I say now they being smart. They put that boy in there. They finna go ahead and power run this ball.
Yeah.
Or either he gonna come out the flat and catch one out there, and in the flat, punish the DB on his way going down or whatever. Yeah. Play some physical football. Next thing I know, the man in there. I don't even think what he had him doing. I don't think he even seen the ball get snapped the way it went.
Yeah.
I say, man, we're not using our personnel correctly.
Yeah. It's crazy. Jerry, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hollering at me tonight.
All right now.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for the night. It's 10:49 here in Memphis. I'm about ready to go to bed. Got to go work in the morning. We're going to holler at y'all. Let me look at the film once it come out, all 22. And I'll be the first one to come out and say I was wrong once I look at it. But I don't think I'm wrong on some of this stuff that I'm saying. Let me look at it, and then I'll, come with a little dissect, and then we'll put this loss to bed and get ready for the Giants this Sunday afternoon. We got to go to work. We got to, look, we're 5-3 now. We have to keep up now. I don't care who we playing. I don't care what the NFL schedule call for. If it's the Giants or if it's the Eagles again, back to back, or if it's the 49ers, it's the same thing. We got to win because we got to keep pace or try to with really ain't 49ers. We all got the same record now. But we got to try to keep up pace with it. We can't afford no losses. So whoever it is, we got to win. So we'll put Philly to bed, put the loss to bed, and once I look at that, I'll come back with a little bit more on that. But after that, we on to the Giants. Sunday afternoon will be here quickly. Next Sunday afternoon, we playing the Giants. We need to beat the Giants' brains out. It's just that simple. We need to take them out early, give them the same beating we gave them in week 1. We need to jump on them early. I don't care if their offense don't belong. Whatever our defense, so be it. We need to beat the Giants. You got to win. That's where we are. Thanks to the loss today, you got to win. We're 2.5 behind the Eagles. Our goal to try to not let it get to 3.5. So some of these games with teams that we know we're supposed to win, we got to get it done. Ain't no excuses. Got to win. That's where I am with it. So, I can't wait to watch the all 22 tape though, because I think I'm right on something. Somebody said I think I'm wrong. Who is this that said that? That Samuel McCoy said you wrong on some of it, big bro. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and let the film kind of tell the rest of the story. Like I said, I jumped on out there today just based off what I saw. There've been plenty of times that the 22 tape kind of kills a lot of stuff that I'm saying. So I don't want to just put my whole foot down in the sand on that. All right. I'll see you guys sometime later this week. I'm gonna watch the film first, then I'll come back and talk to you. Maybe Tuesday, maybe somewhere in that area. Well, yeah, it might be Tuesday. I'll be with you guys then. So I appreciate everybody on Podbean that tuned in. Thank you so much. Those of you watched by YouTube, Facebook. I appreciate all you guys for hanging with me. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. My time is just about up. Some here will come the Dak trolls. So I'll close with this. Here they go. Got to get rid of Dak Prescott. It was Dak Prescott that kept us in. Whoever that is calling, I'm sorry I'm going to miss your call tonight. Whoever that is from New Jersey. You forget that. Now Dak is the one that held us in the game today. It wasn't nobody else. Wasn't the running game. It was Dak Prescott. So not going to do that. Now, here's the narrative that you're going to hear tomorrow. You're going to hear tomorrow the same thing that a lot of you see in this chat. You're going to say with Dak Prescott, they'll pinpoint 1 or 2 plays. You definitely will see that step out of bounds. And then you're going to hear them say, these are the games that Cowboys just can't win. But here's the thing. Sooner or later, y'all got to get past the messenger and focus in on the message. Here's my question. Are they lying? I know y'all don't like Stephen A. I know you don't like Shannon Sharp. I know you don't like LaShawn McCoy. know you don't like Joy Taylor, but are they lying? You know, I know you don't like the Messenger, because we all know they Cowboy haters. But when they say Cowboys can't win the big game, are they lying? Some lady gonna tell the truth. That's the truth. We always seem to end up on the short end of the stick. It's so much so that if we win one, we'll actually be shocked. I'm serious. We'll be like, wow, we won. Like, it's like the Tampa Bay playoff game last year when we beat the Buccaneers handedly. It shocked a lot of us. It did. It shocked a lot of us because we were like, okay, we won, but we didn't think he would beat Tom Brady on the road. We didn't think that, you know. A lot of us were shocked. That's why we shouted so much. We were shocked. That's really the truth. But we'll talk about the game a little bit further in depth, probably Tuesday night. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging with your boy. Appreciate all of y'all. If you're watching this replay, appreciate all of you guys watching. Comment wherever you want. It will show up. I'll probably do my best to answer. A lot of your comments in here, I couldn't read them all. It was coming so fast. I'm going to try my best to go back and look at this and start answering some of y'all's chat. I'll do that. But until then, on Tuesday night, Podbean, we'll see you on Tuesday night. This has been the one and the only. This is the Big Time Show.